Hello everyone and welcome back to another Figurehead Reviews video, and today we are taking a look at Cannonball from the Marvel Legends Wendigo Build-A-Figure wave. Here we have the very controversial Cannonball figure displayed in the front window with that blast-off accessory and his Build-A-Figure piece. On the side we have some very cool artwork of Cannonball, and we can see at the bottom have the blast-off effects down there. On the back, we have an expanded shot of that artwork. We have the read-up. Samuel Guthrie creates a powerful force field to fly at superhuman speeds as a leader of the New Mutants known as Cannonball. And then in the middle there, we do have all the other figures needed in this wave to build the Wendigo figure. I've already reviewed Nightcrawler. And then at the bottom, you do have a UPC code, so you can check with your local retailer to see if they have him in stock. But enough about that. Let's get this open and take a look at Cannonball. And here is Cannonball outside of his packaging, and I say controversial figure because, there's really not much to him. This is it right here. He doesn't have the most posability because of the fact that he has no legs, and that is a big deal for a lot of people, that he doesn't have any legs. However, I do think that Hasbro, they took a calculated risk with this figure, and they gave us something that, if he had gotten legs, there would have been people saying, it's Cannonball, we don't have any way to represent his ability. And then, of course, we get the version with no legs, and everyone says, he doesn't have any legs, I can't pose him. So, yeah, it's kind of a double-edged sword, I think, for Hasbro, and I think in this case, they went with risk. And I personally think it pays off. I think this is kind of cool that we got this figure with a good representation of his abilities. Yes, it does limit how you can pose him. I would have loved for some sort of maybe a suction cup would have been kind of cool, or something where you could have him horizontal as opposed to just being vertical. But otherwise, I think it was kind of cool that Hasbro did this. Now, when blasting straight up, this figure is coming in actually at about 7 inches tall, which makes him about 17.8 centimeters. So that accessory does give him some height compared to some other figures, which I think is appropriate as well, that he should be blasting over top of them, in my opinion. I think that would be good. He does not come with any accessories unless you want to count that blast feature as an accessory. He does, of course, come with his Build-A-Figure piece, which is a leg for Wendigo. But aside from that, there's not a whole lot else to look at. So let's just jump in, take a look at that blast accessory, and then take a look at the top half of Cannonball. And here is Cannonball up close. And actually, again, I know controversial character, I keep saying it, or controversial figure, but it's really well sculpted. I like the details that we have here. His little flight mask, I guess you can call it, looks really cool. The straps on it are a malleable material. I won't say that they're exactly soft, but like this one that's stuck under his chin, if I want to move it, I don't have any fingernails. If I want to move it, I can. So you could probably even heat it up and get it to stay in place. But the face came out looking good. Looks like we got a little missed opportunity there on some of the paint of the teeth. But otherwise, it doesn't look too bad, and I think the expression is fitting for a figure that is literally exploding on the bottom half. So the hair came out looking good. It's a pretty simple windswept look, which, again, appropriate for a character who most of the dynamic posing we're going to be putting him in is going to be blasting off, so I like that. And then taking a look at the rest of them, not a whole lot going on here on the top half. You have just regular old white chest piece there with some purple paint, and then the coat with the sleeves and the gloves. That's it. Not a whole lot. Looking at the blast effect, I think it is good looking. Good use of the gradient there, going from the yellow to the orange or the red even. It is a hollow piece, so if you want to put a light or something inside of there, that might actually look kind of cool. And he can come off of this. There we go. So it's just a port that goes right in, and that's it. So not too complicated, and again, I think the sculpt work and everything came out looking pretty good. Looking at the articulation real quick here, so of course you have a head that can go side to side. He can look down quite a ways, and he can look up even though he has that collar there. It doesn't get in the way too much. One of my biggest gripes on the articulation of this figure is going to come with the arms. So they don't come up very far, and they don't go down all the way. That is by far one of the more frustrating parts. I would like it if the arms could come down all the way, only because since they can't come down all the way, they can't go straight up either, which means with his blast-off poses, you kind of have to do stuff like that. So that is a bit of an annoyance. He does have a bicep swivel, which is cut kind of weird there. It's going to have that straight flat piece when you do rotate it. Oh well. Double jointed elbows, rotation, and a hinge at the wrist. He does have an ab crunch, but you kind of have to move the jacket out of the way because otherwise it's going to get caught up. And to take it back too, he's going to be flexed on the jacket, so that's a bit of an annoyance. And then he does rotate on the blast effect, and then obviously he has no articulation down there because he has no legs. And that is going to do it for this review, everyone. I know, quick, simple, not a whole lot to him. However, this, I think, is how I'm going to have him posed. I know my lights are kind of drowning it out, but I have just one of my cheapo stands that I just crammed up in that hollow piece there. And there you go. You get actually a more horizontal blast-off effect. And I kind of like that. It actually looks pretty cool, I think. So he has there's some hope for this figure after all, and I think if somebody is able to display him like this, they might actually be a little bit more thankful for that blast piece, in my opinion. So, but again, that is it for this review, everyone. Overall, cool figure. I like it, and I think Hasbro took a risk, and in my opinion, I think there was no better figure to take this kind of risk on. So, that's my opinion. But make sure to subscribe for more content just like this. If you like this review, make sure to hit that like button. Aside from that, thanks for watching my video, and have a great day.